God bless you. On this particular meditation, I'd like to talk to you about living beneath your privilege. It's amazing sometimes when, after we've had a bad season in life or suffered through a couple tough breaks in life, that we start to acquiesce or act like we haven't seen better days. I was having a discussion with my cousin on last week, and he discussed. We talk and we discuss because each of us in our natural business has been in the field, some form of sales, for over 30 years. And with him already being 50, and with me being on the front porch of 50. He said there are some sales jobs that someone our age would be viewed with much suspicion if we even applied for, because they said the things that you have to do, or everything seems like an introductory sales job, and they'll say, why would a 50-year-old guy? They would know after a while that if you even apply for a job, that it's just a pit stop while you move towards something else. And then yesterday I had a call from someone who looked over. I hadn't posted a resume in over 7 years. And so I threw one back up. I threw one up, and I got a call from a recruiter yesterday. And she was going through my resume and said, looks like you have some sales experience. Okay, that was blow number one. And then she went on and said, yeah, if we decide to proceed further with you, you may be the type of guy we might be interested in. I don't know. We'll have to see. I said, look, excuse me. First of all, you're reading off a script. Second, ma'am, I've been in sales for 30 years. That's probably longer than you are old. It may even be longer than the person that you're who told you to call me. First of all, and I didn't call you, you called me. I'm fine where I said, I'm not looking for my next meal. I said, I'm fine. I said, you have to love yourself enough to not go through some things and live beneath your privilege. I said, you're treating me as if I'm a Rickey salesperson. I said, you pass the person you tell the person that told you to call me, he can call me, but we're going to stop this right now. Look, folks, some things you don't have to live beneath your privilege. I remember seeing a guy, and now we're getting back over into the things of God, a venerated pastor that I know is an awesome teacher, and God has put so much wisdom in this guy, but he had suffered a couple of bad seasons. He had a couple of tough seasons. And then there's this younger guy that's about 25 to 30 years his junior, wants to be his covering in his fellowship. And I'm saying, you can't take a couple bad seasons and all of a sudden you're the college student in the game of life, and then you start letting the kindergartner cover you and instruct you. Look, folks, I'm not saying that younger can't teach older, but you got to love yourself enough. One thing that the young hot guy in any industry, or the young hot gal in any industry, in ministry or whatever, they have to show that they can stand the test of time. Many people are spotless. They're sizzling hot, but time's going to happen to them too. You're going to go through some tough seasons in life. Tough seasons shouldn't define you. I always remember I was watching the movie Stomp the Yard. Oh, there's his name, last night. And the guy Lance, who previously dated the young lady who, was the central part of the story. And he says, you're going to miss out. If you don't watch it, you're going to miss out on me. Now, folks, that's not really how guys should approach a girl. The woman should be the prize. I'm still from the old school. I'm not saying the man's the throwaway, but the woman should be the prize. But when you go through a couple bad seasons, my sister, you'll start allowing guys to talk to you like that. You'll have guys that say things. I've never called my wife fat. That's just not something I've ever done. But I hear guys do it to their wives, and they do it in front of others, and I know that's a self-esteem killer. But folks, you can't let a couple tough seasons, a couple adversities, a couple turmoils, a scandal or two cause you to live beneath your privilege. Just because they're hot now, they still haven't gone through the test called time yet. Don't throw in your bags. Don't throw in the towel. Don't throw your life away, because time will happen to them too. Just because you suffered a couple bad seasons doesn't mean that God didn't call you. It doesn't mean that God won't use you greatly. Doesn't mean you may be. There are passages of scriptures in the Holy Writ where folks had to go through the backside of the desert. They had to, had to go through times in the wilderness. Jesus did. Look, folks, just because you're going through a tough time doesn't mean that you should ever live beneath your privilege. God may have called you in the things of God. And God, you may be a post-secondary worker in the things of God, but if you don't know it and you let your self-esteem get so ill-affected, you'll let the new hot preacher all of a sudden become your instructor, your teacher, your guide. And all of a sudden, the college student is allowing the kindergartner to teach them. I heard of a story of someone who was the young hot preacher even locally. And with arrogance, he told my former first lady, I won't call her name, but you all know her, that he can help her get good speakers to her conference. And she looked at him and batted her eyes. She said, "No, baby, I don't need that." Now, here she is. She has slept in the same bed for nearly 40-some years with a man who was at the top of the preaching game. And who would think, everybody, he's preached for everybody, and he's taken her many times, so she would already have all of those speakers on her Rolodex. She sat and ate dinner with Jake. She's ate with Paul Morton. She's ate with Marvin Winans. She's ate with Drew, every hot preacher. But in his mind, he's going to help her get good speakers. Look, folks, if you don't know it and you allow your life experiences and a couple bad blows that happen to you in life, you'll be that college student letting a kindergartner teach you life lessons. Look, folks, you may not have the shine you once had, but it's just for a season. The thing that you're going through didn't come to stay. I submit to you, child of God, that it came to pass. But don't allow the blows that you may suffer in life. Don't allow the tough times you may suffer in life. Don't allow someone who's hot while you're not to cause you to live beneath your privilege. One of the worst things to ever see in life is for someone that God has his finger on, God has poured his favor on, and God trusted you to survive the test called time, and you threw in the towel and started living beneath your privilege. Sister, some women, you can go through such tough seasons with men sometime, and you're not going to go to the other side, praise God. But you can go through such a tough season that you not only start living beneath your privilege, you'll start dating beneath your privilege. You don't have to take a man whipping your head morning, noon, and night. You don't have to take a man calling you names and calling you everything in sight. God called you to more than this. And you got to love yourself more. This thing of living beneath your privilege, you got to have that one-on-one time with a mirror and say, I love me more. I love me enough to not endure that. I love me enough to not go through that. Look, folks, this thing called life throws many blows and it throws so many tough times at each of us that all of us can want to hide sometime, go in the corner, and start living beneath our privilege where the pain doesn't exist anymore. But God called you for more. God planted you in more. He called you to be the head and not the tail. Look, folks, if you're going to be the head in life, You got to make a firm resolve that you'll shoot for excellence, you'll shoot for greatness, that you will not live beneath your privilege. My morning meditation. God bless you.